If his bills are paid and he treats me right, I don't think money should be an object because it doesn't last forever. I don't think money should be an object.
I don't think money should be an object.
I don't think money should be an object.
Yeah, so this video I caught the other day, it's by this woman, Courtney Ryan, and it's "Do These Things Matter to Women?" So, you know, car, job, title, salary, more. And I watched a bit of it. You know, it starts off with, as it says, like introducing all the girls. And then I don't know the ages. I don't think they go into how old they are. But then, you know, she starts off with cars and job titles. But as you can see here, this is the area that everybody's currently watching. Because this area is about salary. I just want you to listen to what these girls have to say. And not all of them are like delusional, I guess is the right word to say, but hold on, let me shift this bad boy over. All right. So let's move back a bit. I think we start here with the salary.
It's important to me. As
Yeah.
long as like we have enough money to, I don't know, go on dates and like do like concerts, like fun stuff.
No, doesn't really matter. If he has goals, like if the salary's not amazing right now, but he has goals for himself and, you know, he's working towards something, that's important to me. But everyone's in different places at different times. So I feel like immediate salary.
Very reasonable. That is an amazing answer. I couldn't say it any better, any worse. You know, just because you meet a guy and he's not making, you know, X amount right now doesn't mean that's not something he's trying to achieve. So her being open to him, fantastic. That's great.
As long as we could still have fun.
If his bills are paid and he treats me right, I don't think money should be an object because it doesn't last forever.
So we heard this clip right at the start. So this lady's one of the clowns that I'm thinking about, but let's go on. This answer right here, fantastic answer. If that was the truth.
No, salary not too much. As long as you're making like a decent income for yourself and you can live within those means.
Again, fantastic answer. Very reasonable. Everything makes sense. This lady, you'll see what the face is for.
I'd say like same answer as his job title. It doesn't really matter what you're making right now, but if you're ambitious and you have like high expectations for yourself and high goals for yourself, then that's very attractive.
It is important
I'm gonna just preface, this girl's a little Looney Tunes, but
because, you know, for me as a female, I plan to be making a certain amount at a certain age. And the man that I expect to be with, I want him to be a hustler and a go-getter too. And, you know, the harder you work, the more you work, the higher you're going to move up, the more your salary.
not always true. Not always true. Depending on the job, depending on, you know, what the structure of the place that you're working at is, you could be working as hard as possible and, you know, Joe Schmo beside you could be doing the least amount possible and you guys are making the same amount of money. Sure, if, you know, your boss is taking into account how much you're working or how much you're putting in and hustling, as she says, it might entice you for like a bonus or a promotion or something like that. But, you know, sometimes overachieving is never like looked upon as a good thing. Sometimes like people say you're brown nosing or, you know, you're being a suck up or whatever the case may be. And you know, it's unfair sometimes, but yeah, just listen to her.
He's gonna raise. So also, if you plan to be with somebody and you plan to have a family, you have to support your children and each other. So I do think salary matters because it's, you know, kind of going to show you what the future is going to look like and what kind of struggles or what kind of things you can do.
Now, I will admit that I don't disagree with that. Let me take this off her face like that. I don't disagree with that. Obviously, if you and your partner
I would-
have goals that you want to achieve, and you guys got to work together and stuff like that. But at the same time, um, when she's talking about like supporting children and this and that, this day and age is not a single income family type of deal. Like you need your partner usually's income to sustain, especially in this day and age with inflation and prices of everything, and groceries alone, gas alone. Like it's not as simple as like if they make this amount of money, we're good.
Wouldn't say it doesn't matter. I think, if we're thinking about a long term,
I appreciate that honesty. I can't say that it. I mean, the other girl was also honest that she did care about it, but this girl, yes, I appreciate the honesty from some of these.
thing, we're partners. So thinking about things in that way, I had to consider what my salary is and what kind of life we want to live.
Yeah.
If he's making less money than me and I'm the breadwinner, I feel I personally would be uncomfortable just
Now, is that because you don't make a lot of money, so you're waiting for him to substitute the rest of the income, or do you just not like the idea of being the breadwinner? I don't.
from what I'm making at this moment. If we're like,
Okay, so yeah, so she's admitting she doesn't feel like she's making a lot. So if the guy's making less than her, then obviously it's not wise. But then is she trying to get to a place where she's making more?
at a point where I feel like I'm comfortable on my own, we'd be fine together, I really don't care. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a number that stands out to you as like a decent salary? Like something that you would be like, okay, he needs to make this much money.
I don't think there's a number in mind,
Wait for it.
especially for right now, but I would say
Wait for it.
if he's not ever making more than, let's say, $100,000, then I would be a little bit worried about our future.
So if he was not making 100K on his own, you guys are worried. She's worried. This girl, I'd say, is the most reasonable. I think in terms of the pricing I heard.
I'm gonna say like in the 70s. I don't know. There's like the gender wage gap, so I don't even know.
So the gender wage gap, that's for a whole nother day. But 70K, I don't think is a terrible amount. I used to be making around 65 to 68K back on my old job, so that's not too far off of there. That's a pretty good amount. You're making good good wage. You could pay for a lot of shit, but that's kind of where most jobs are. Some jobs you're like at the 75, and then upper echelon is kind of like 80, 85. But when you start breaking to like 90 to 100, 120K, like those are some pretty higher jobs. That's not a regular Joe Schmo who's like doing construction or doing maybe general office work or stuff like that.
I would say enough to live a life of leisure in a sense.
This lady
Like,
loves
not
her
have to
leisure.
worry about your rent, your utilities, stuff like that, but also obviously a more desirable man would be able to take care of our kids, of myself, of our older parents.
Wait for it.
So I would say somewhere between 400K to wherever. Like there's no bar.
400K to no bar. What? I don't know anybody in my life who's making 400K that isn't maybe like a CEO or even like a person in the like even I think government officials are making around like 250K a year. This lady's talking about like I don't even know, like Twitter owners or Facebook, like Mark Zuckerberg. No, these guys are like multi-millionaires. I don't know who she's hanging around. But and then there's also no bar. 400K to the moon. Like, this girl is. Stay away from her, gentlemen. That's all I gotta say.
At 23, if I were to be dating a man right now, 80K is pretty good. 80 to 100K.
At 23 years old, you are most likely getting out of college or university at that age. You think you're gonna roll into a job where you're already making 80 to 100K? This girl is fucking out of touch as well. At 23? Most people in their 30s and 40s don't even make that amount of money. Especially not somebody at 23 coming out of school.
Is what I'd be looking for. Yeah, somewhere around 80 to 100K.
Yeah.
In your mid-20s.
In your mid-20s, yeah. Here we go again, guys. This girl. Remember what she said earlier. The hypocrisy here.
I think 6 figures is definitely decent for, it's a little, you got to work hard for it nowadays, but
Crazy.
for an income, you know, to create a family and things of that nature, like
Yeah.
at least 100,000 is acceptable.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we'll take less, but it just depends on your job and your career and what you're doing.
Amazing.
Yeah, a lot of girls have said that, and I actually just recently read the statistic where
Listen to this.
only 2% of men between the ages of 20 and 40 make 6 figures.
20 to 40. Only 2% of men make that. Now, I saw this study. It's like back from 2018, but I doubt much has changed in those 4 years. There is no way in hell that from 20 to 40, you've gone up from that 2%.
And are over 6 feet, which is like
Look at her face. Look at her face.
2
Oh, really? Oh, so my options? Not as good as I thought? Oh.
of the things that women typically say they want.
Right.
But it's crazy to think about the fact that there's only 2% of
It's not crazy. How many women do you know that are making in their 20s to 40s over 100K? Why is it crazy that men can't be making over that?
men
Yeah. That are out
making
there.
that much. Yeah.
I'll take a short guy that makes $1 million all day long.
How our standards have simply for a little bit more money. When this girl said, if he can pay his bills and he treats me right, that's all that matters. Now she's saying, oh, he can't be tall and he's probably not going to make that money. Well, I'll take a short rich guy. Like, come on.
That's a fair compromise, right?
Yeah, that's sad because I plan to be making 100K or more.
This girl, 23, saying it's sad. You're planning to make 100K or more. Where? Tell me where. What are you planning to do? Most households nowadays need both to make over that 100K. You know, say your wife makes 70K, you make 80K, or you make 70K and she makes 80K. Combine them, you're over 100K. That's typically kind of what you need to do. It's very rare that one of them is making that. But now you're telling me you and him are going to be also making that at 23? Or your mid-20s? No way, Jose, man.
Hopefully before 30. So
It's just crazy.
that is crazy.
Yeah, and then when all girls want that, they're all going after the same men, and it's like, what are you gonna do?
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have to get into a different industry. I got
Maybe.
His hobbies.
So that was basically the end of the video that I wanted to see. It's a 40 minute long video. I'll link it in the description below. But yeah, this was the statistics that she was talking about here. As you can see, like age 40, that's when your highest, says for the highest income earners, the approach to 40 years of age is the important time for growth. So right here. But like, look at this, medium income. And I don't know if this is the US or in general. It's probably the US. But look, at age 40, 45K, 46K, 46K, 48K. Now, when you go to the 90th percentile, you're a little bit higher. You're in the 65, 85, 100K. So that's when you're in your 35, 40 range, right? But now this girl's saying 400K. you gotta be in the 1 percentile. So yeah, so visualizing American income. So this is the Americans. So, you know, I'll also drop this link for the article if you guys want to read it. Like I said, it's from 2018, but I don't think much has changed since then. Anyways, guys, drop a you know, hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying the content. Let me know what you think about all of these crazy fucking answers, because yeah, 400k. And thanks for tuning in as always. I hope you guys enjoy this one. Thanks again for all the subs that have been coming in, and the views on the videos, and let's keep it going. All right, see you later, guys.